Alrighty, we are live on Twitch for sure, and that means YouTube will follow forthwith. It's always forthwith.
Nice.
Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness. Happy Friday in the sense that we made it to Friday, or in some cases, it's Saturday. As it is with my friends James Cork, who also goes by Movie Slate.
Hi. Yeah, it's so good to be in one of these. I'm so happy. It's so good to see you, man. It's been like, you know that meme, the Titanic lady? It's been 84 years. In this case, it's been like 3 years, almost 4.
It has. It's been several years since we had the chance to talk over voice chat. It fired over some messages just to check in, say hi, but never a chance just to sit down and talk. Oh goodness.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's
Because text-wise, at least we managed to keep up.
Keep up, but not the same as getting to talk to a friend, and it's good to catch up.
Yeah.
So
It's basically ships crossing in the night.
although if you're talking about if we're talking about ships and memes from Titanic, all I can think of is share the door with Jack. He could have made it. He could have made it.
There is a deleted scene somewhere. I think it's in one of the DVDs or something like that, where they try to explain how there is not enough space in the board. But yeah, no, it's total nonsense. He could have totally fit in there.
I should ask, for a minute there, you got really quiet.
Did I?
But I think that's more just my computer suddenly dipping the volume. As long as everyone in the stream can hear you, okay.
Well, let's test that. Hey guys, can you hear me? Is the volume okay? Am I sounding too low? Too loud? I can scream a bit more. My neighbors don't mind.
Audience, can you hear me?
Audience, can you hear me? See, I cannot think of Gentle without thinking of Ted. That 2012 movie with Mark Wahlberg and the talking bear.
Oh, I remember it well.
Ted. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, they are saying that we sound okay.
Okay, good. Then it's just my computer because honestly, that's been my theme this week. Oh, it's just my computer. Da 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 da. Hey. Now,
oh well.
Talking to the audience, there are several people I want to give a shout out to. In particular, Mad Munchkin. Hello, Maddie. And I want to call special attention to Maddie's channel, where she posted a review of Sisterhood Social and shared a lot of insight into, well, both being a creative and being a sister. So, her icon is there in the chat. I recommend everyone click on that so they can get to her channel and see Yon Sisterhood Social. It also helps that Sisterhood Social is my favorite episode of the entire series.
Oh man, that's true. It's still your favorite.
It's still my favorite. Here's the thing.
Wow.
People will argue that there have been better stories, that there have been better written, more animated, more diverse. And the thing is, I don't disagree. But your favorite is not necessarily how do I describe? Not a categorized criteria of bullet points. It means something to you, and it was one of my earliest, most positive experiences with the show. I really enjoyed it. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm. It's like that with everything. Usually, your favorite, and I'm saying a couple of questions over there about like the favorite, the best parts, and whatnot. Is that usually your favorite is not objectively the best, it is subjectively the best. And like it has flaws, but the flaws are not deal breakers for you.
Indeed. Now, I also want to give some.
Although I will say, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You will say.
Oh, I was gonna say that you can say that Sisterhood Social is perhaps one of the least flawed episodes of MLP, because right now, off of the top of my head, I cannot think of any problems with it.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
But
what are you gonna say?
What was I gonna say? I wanted to give some other shout outs to folks in Le Chat. Oh, that didn't sound right. The chat. If I soften the CH, it sounds inappropriate.
Yes, it does. Or cat in French.
Oh, kate? Let's
Is it
see.
Kate? Isn't Kate in French chat? Chateau? No, that's castle. It's chateau.
Oh well, it's
Oh no.
definitely I'm thinking of an Indian pronunciation. But anyway, I do see
Uh-huh.
Enderpup. Hello. I know I saw Champ to Stay. Trinary. Always good to see you here, both here and on Twitch. Multitasker. Let's see. Serenity Moongacha. Hello. Good to see you. Oh, funny enough, there is a caddy 218 who's calling for. Yep, she's calling to fry me with a flamethrower. Oh, it's a typical Friday. Oh, I see Luke, which is Rainbow Hooves Productions. Oh, Norma Ruiz. It's there with her phonetical spelling. Always appreciated. And let's see. I know I saw some other folks. Oh, there's Lightning Dash. Good to see you. Jude 3300. What would it be? 3300? Yeah, that's the faster way to say it. And Prince Apollo, who was watching CNN. My heart goes out to you. This is not the week to be watching the news for feel good.
No, no. This is the week to be an ostrich. You need to put your head in the sand for a couple days.
Oh, now you're making me think of the Looney Tunes. There was Foghorn Leghorn
Yeah.
and the dog fighting with an ostrich. And over on Twitch, we have Helsing Ghost 1, Darth Revan 2226. See Anna Wildcat, River, Blue Griffin, and Drinking Buddy. Good to see you. So, good to see everyone. Folks, I'm afraid you're catching me woefully underprepared. I mean, good God. It's been a day. It's been a week. It's been a year, and it's only a week and a half long this year. So,
Yeah. This year that lasted like an entire decade.
this year that lasted a decade. It's madness, I tells you. So, I am left with the question of, how should I go about this? How should I show my madness? Because, well, let's start with just getting something on the page. Get the screen going. I scream, you scream.
Ooh, yee, what are we working on? Well, what are you working on today, Silver?
Well, honestly, I'm working on figuring things out. It's time to start a new project for a Patreon supporter, but the demands of a new Pony Life, at least here in the States, means I will also likely switch gears to start working on Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight. In an ideal world, I'd have gotten off work early on a Friday, but not so. This week has been really high pace, high demand, so I'm like 9 hour workday, 5 hours of sleep. I might be just a little loopy. Tee. But our topic for tonight is Iceberg Sky Striker. And I got to give several props. One, because this person has a full character sheet with poses, a wonderful style. Very unique cutie mark. I don't know if you can see the brain on the shield.
I say it. It's wonderful. I say that's a really good looking OC. I really like him.
Very much. And even Species of Pegasus, strategy games player, and forensic psychologist. Now
Wow.
that is unique. That is wonderfully unique.
Yeah. What is the implication? Well, what is the job of a forensic psychologist? Is that like you counsel people after like dealing with a trauma or like a traumatic event, something like that?
You know, I want to do this proper justice. So, according to APA.org, interest in forensic psychology have surged in recent years, primarily due to programs such as Criminal Minds, where criminal profiles have almost psychic criminal profilers have an almost psychic ability to give elaborate personality and behavioral descriptions of perpetrators, apparently known as unsubs. I'm not sure what that acronym stands for. This is a misconception of the role, since forensic psychology is a relatively new field, it's still having growing pains. Broad definition with an arrow tone, yada yada. Man, they are really going. The practice of forensic psychology, and perhaps the most frequent duty of a forensic psychologist, is the psychological assessment of individuals who are involved in one way or another with the legal system. So, I think to make a long story short, too late, you're basically trying to help get a handle on people as they're dealing with the legal system that may be a criminal, it may be a witness.
Wow. You know, I was going to make light of the situation, saying, "Oh, people dealing with the legal system. Then we need to have more forensic psychologists out there." But that is important because you do need to prepare witnesses for, like, say, you're gonna go into trial. You're gonna have to identify a culprit. You need to keep cool and don't break under the circumstances because this trial is important. Like, we need to put this guy in jail. So that's actually a very important job.
Oh, and I see Lightning Bliss in the chat. Also good to see you, Lightning.
Hey.
Hello, Skittlecorn.
Hey there, Lightning, please. I don't know if you remember me, but I am Spanish Mary Sue.
Which means you're the best ever.
Yeah.
Now,
How did the boys go? I'm Mary Sue. I'm the best ever.
I think that's the Mary Sue. She had just a little bit of helium. I'm impressed you can reach that vocal range.
Maddie, why did I have to suck on all of those balloons before getting into the stream? Oh no! Wait, have you never heard me make the Mary Sue voice?
I think this was a first.
Oh no! That's great. I know that Maddie loves my Mary Sue voice, and there was something in the past that we were going to do. I was gonna do like the voice of Getty Stew. I don't know how that was gonna work, but I'm still up for it, Maddie. If you hear me, I'm still up for the voice of Getty Stew. If you still want me to do it.
Oh, I can see that you speak with a slightly low, scintillating voice that much to the delight of all
hello.
the lady fans.
Oh, hi there. I'm Getty Stew, and I'm the best ever. But you already knew that, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Oh, God. I hate myself for just saying that. No, I don't want to do that. He sounds so smug and insufferable. It's terrible. Spanish blue blood. You. No.
Oh, there you go. That sounds marvelous. Let's see. Now, the request from the patron for this drawing is his character at the Ponyville train station. And that's it. It's like,
wow.
I was like, So we need to spice this up. I mean, okay, obviously I've got Ponyville train station, which I'm not aware of any vectors, so we're going to work on that a little. Plus, it's always good to expand a background. But then I'm wondering, what would a forensic psychologist be doing while waiting for a train or well, just passing through town? I have a hard time envisioning them being called to Ponyville for a crime, but hey, you never know. It's probably Rainbow Dash again who broke something.
Oh man, you say Rainbow Dash, you say crime, and did you ever watch that video/radio show that crossover MLP with Phoenix Wright?
Oh yes, Turnabout Justice.
Turnabout Storm.
Turnabout Storm, yes, and he Rainbow was on trial for murder.
Yeah, it was murder. Which that was a very good twist at the end because spoilers, go check it out. It's actually pretty alright. The BA they picked for Twilight Sparkle is almost a dead ringer. She does a very good job.
Excellent. So
yeah.
we need to ponder for a sec. What would this pony be doing while waiting at a train station? It could be people watching, again, pony watching, or you might be reading a book on psychology, or maybe just take it easy. It's hard to know. Who can? Which is why we must experiment with ideas. And I'm just at the moment saving a few images of Ponyville train station, which is kind of funny. This image right now. This image is from the opening. The train station is in the middle of Ponyville, which, when you think about it, is actually incredibly unsafe.
It's very reminiscent of like old-timey towns. Like it's very, very old Wild West. If you think about it, the train station was almost at the. But is it in the middle of the town? It's in the middle of the town in the intro. in the actual show, there is really nothing further the train station, is there?
There's not.
Like,
So
yeah.
for reference, give me one sec. Just get into the files, as is my wont. Yeah, I should mention part of this 9-hour workday, 5-hour sleep is that that turned out horrible. I only got home like 20 minutes before the stream started. So, playing a little catch up. And wow, I must be sleep deprived because this is looking trippy as can be.
Wow, what happened there?
Let's see, I believe, is this. Nope, it's a PNG. It's a PNG that looks just bonkers. So, either I'm really, really tripping, or you can see it too.
No, I can say it. You're not just tripping. Like, it was the normal picture. It was, this is your brain. And the second picture is, this is your brain on drugs. It's insane. What happened?
Well, let's see. Ah, there we go.
Corruption?
Well, I don't know, but I saved it as a JPEG, and, well, we're back in business. This is what I expect of Ponyville. Oh, is it? Trinary. Always helping me out. Always appreciated. This is what is where it is. It's on the. It seems to be on Ponyville's outskirts, but the train station's the same. Although,
yeah, same train station.
Although, if we're talking about tripping, I want to give a shout out to CatG9917, who says, "Who wants to kiss a glorified chicken?" Followed quickly by an asterisk, "Kill." I think autocorrect pitched a curve there.
Autocorrect is shipping you with Silver-Quill because the kissing.
Oh, now they're fighting, now they're kissing, now they're fighting, now they're kissing. Honestly, yes, it's only fitting that autocorrect would ship me with individuals, for wherever I am, the shipping follows.
Yeah.
Oh, now we will start with some questions though, because Champ to Stay has a tradition. It is time honored.
Oh yes,
dating back from pretty much my very first live stream. Have you ever watched Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends?
If that's a question to me, I have not.
Well, that it is a question to you. It's also rather the common answer. I appear to be friends with just that age bracket that couldn't quite get into it, or was just on the outskirts.
Maybe I should clarify my answer. Is Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends the new version or the one that came out in like late 80s, early 90s?
Mm-hmm.
No, but did you hear my question? I don't. I asked you something. I think it got cut off.
I may have gotten cut off. Sorry.
Oh no, I was asking if Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends is the new version of Thomas the Tank Engine or the one that came out in the late 80s, early 90s.
Truth be told, I'm not sure. I'm assuming that if they add an and Friends, it is the later iteration, building off the predecessor's success. But pure speculation on my part.
Because I never watched Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, but I watched the previous version, the one that was essentially stop motion with models, and they will just change the characters' faces and whatnot to indicate that they are talking or have a different expression. And I also watched Thomas the Tank Engine and the Magic Road, the one movie with Alec Baldwin, Peter Fonda, and Mara Wilson.
You mean the one where Baldwin's flipping the audience off at one point during a life-threatening crisis?
Yes, the one where Alec Baldwin is constantly interacting with the audience, making you wonder if you're in reality or not. And that movie is a trip. At one point, Alec Baldwin threatens one of the evil engine with a bag of sugar, saying, "I'm gonna put this in your tank deposit, and you're not gonna be able to move." And the engine is like terrified, and he just backs down. Like, what is going on in this movie?
Oh, we also have a request from Maddie. Could you do the Mary Sue voice again?
Maddie, I am not a circus animal. I am not here for your amusement. No, don't make me dance. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'll be in my cabin. Bye. Also, I want a mocha macchiato without milk. There you go.
Much appreciated. And I appreciate the passion you put into that.
It's difficult not to. I mean, if you're voicing Merisu, you have to be over melodramatic and try to channel Sasa Gabor as much as you can.
Honestly, I to get that pitch, I'd probably have to have a hammer and several minutes at a very uncomfortable spot. Yep.
Oh no!
I'm gonna.
Why you not?
I'm gonna let you
so
all.
funny.
I'm gonna let you all process that image for a minute. And just to add to it, just picture this sound effect.
James.exe stopped working. Oh, that's great. Oh man.
Although some people are noting, you sounded a bit like Elmo, like a very angry Elmo.
I wish I knew any Elmo catchphrases, but I never got into the Sesame Street show, the English version. I did watch the Spanish version though, and the Spanish version didn't have Elmo in it, believe it or not.
Really? They edited him out?
Yeah, Elmo wasn't there. There was a bunch of other characters that were actually, from what I know, exclusive to the Spanish version of Sesame Street, and of course Ernie and Bernie were there. And the Count and all of those, and the Cookie Monster also. But that's just the ones that you can voice over. But when it comes to like interaction with like little kids and human characters and whatnot, they had to make their own version. So Elmo wasn't included.
I'll be.
Yeah. I wonder if it was like that in every other country, because I know that Sesame Street was like an international reach. So I know that the US has Elmo and everyone else, of course, but I wonder if like Germany had its own version of Sesame Street.
Probably. Though
I see that you're reading questions from the chat. I have a couple of them written down on a Word document if you want me to ask them.
Very much, but before we do, I just want to clarify to folks in the chat. I appreciate that folks come here and they want to be creative, they want to interact with one another. But with role-playing, it's very important that you first know there's a trust or understanding with the other person, that they want to engage in that. Otherwise, you're forcing them to basically play a game that they're not ready or comfortable playing. And that can make things awkward. So please avoid role-playing unless you know this is someone who genuinely enjoys doing it. So, that's just a caution. Appreciate everyone's awareness going forward. And with that, James, I'd love to hear some questions.
Yeah, I have one from Norman Ruiz Gallardo, who asked, how was your first week of 2021? I'm going to let you take this one.
Okay. I'm okay. Here's the simple truth. This has been a very, very difficult week on a lot of fronts. Work-wise, the funny thing about the start of a new year or immediately after the holidays is people realize, oh, crud, I never ordered X, Y, or Z. So suddenly there's this huge barrage of rush orders. In addition, we're introducing a new organization system, and everyone's trying to get a feel, but also find those workarounds or solutions for when something isn't covered by the rules. And that leads to confusion. So it's been a chaotic week on the work. Within trying to be creative, on Tuesday, I got home and I sat down and just started editing for 5 hours to get that video of MLP number 93 ready. Which, by the way, is on my channel, and I'd appreciate it if you haven't seen it. Give it a look. If you have, help promote it on social media. I'm afraid these days the fandom is not quite the lightning rod it once was, and so word of mouth is one of the greatest boons, especially to creators. Which is why I also encourage everyone, again, to check out Mad Munchkin and Lightning Bliss's channel. Just click their icons in Le Chat and be transported. Or click the links in the description to see James's OC Movie Slate on Tumblr and his DeviantArt gallery. No, I'm sorry. And then I don't...
Thank you for the plug, man.
Oh, well, I want to promote people. I want to see creativity and positivity flourish. But God knows life makes that hard, especially on Wednesday, when I watched the news for the outcomes in Georgia. And you know what's really scary? I don't remember at what moment I realized that the Capitol was under attack. This was an insurrection. It was a coup. It was genuine terrorism. There's no getting around or sugarcoating that. It was domestic terrorism. And Wednesdays I visit with my family, and we were all glued to the news, watching this unfold, watching the Senate go back into session with debris still on the walls, with windows still shattered, but they were back. And perhaps the most, I don't want to get overly political, but I want to make this abundantly clear. Violence is an accelerant, but never towards the goal you intend. The people who stormed the Capitol building and were parading themselves around, posing for pictures, they were there to try and protest the certification of Joe Biden's presidency. In doing so, even some of the most vocal and adamant senators admitted right after, we are withdrawing from this process. These folks thought that they were striking a blow. They actually accelerated Biden's confirmation. They sabotaged themselves, and that perhaps is the truest testament to how violence gets a reaction, but it's not what you think. And so, if they're still proud of that, I think history will prove them fools. So I'm sorry for getting on my soapbox, a political soapbox, no less.
No, dude, come on. This is not a case of like, if we take this out of the political thing, one can have political beliefs of either side. It doesn't matter. We are all human beings in the end, and you guys over there, you're all American. What happened yesterday goes beyond human decency, and that's something that crosses political lines. That's not part of either party agenda. That's something that is reprehensible. And for my side, I think it was shameful. Despite everything that has happened, I have a big appreciation for the United States. I have a lot of friends over there. I think you guys have a wonderful country. And it sucks to see this sort of thing happen. I don't know how I managed to keep friendships from both sides of the aisle during the last 4 years, because I thought someone was going to end up breaking up with me sooner or later. But nobody did. Everyone is cool. Everyone's great. And so far, I have nothing but good friends in the United States. And seeing this happen was making me upset and was making me very angry. Before the stream, we were joking and I was making jokes and whatnot. But this situation, it's not something to make light of. 5 people died. One of them a police officer. And another one, the woman that got shot in the neck, who, whatever her beliefs were or whatnot, she was she was in the army, she was decorated, and now she's no longer there. That's terrible. So it goes beyond human decency. So don't put yourself down thinking this is your political soapbox and whatnot. It's not. This is something that is terrible. But that's why we need things like what you're doing right now. We need escapism more than ever. We need that. We need to kind of like break out of reality. Because I don't know about you, but I went to bed and I couldn't sleep. From Wednesday to Thursday, I think I got like 3 hours of sleep because I was so frazzled over the situation. And I'm pretty sure everybody was equally upset.
Oh yes, you share that with many an American and to the other people in of the world. I can only imagine how we as a country look, especially in light of all this. But okay,
Well,
I guess there's one other.
good things, positive.
Well, here's the thing. One of the phrases being bandied about is this who we are? The unfortunate thing is that America is a country of duality. Yes, what happened is a part of who we are. It's not something to be proud of, but it's something to address. But in addition, those of us who are horrified by the events, who want a better America, who want civil discourse over politics, and to uphold the idea of a bloodless transfer of power, that too is part of who we are. So, just as every person has strengths and darker aspects vying within, so is true for a nation. And that doesn't excuse what happened, it doesn't downplay it, but it's also don't give up on the positive aspects in the face of something terrible. Oh, and there we go again.
Don't worry. I think at this point we need to kind of get it out of our systems or compensate it with something.
Well, if we're talking, if we're talking compensating, I can joke about hitting myself in the crotch more.
Oh God, Silver! Oh, no, don't go there because I have a couple follow-up comments on that I could be like, oh God, and then the stream gets flagged.
I think I said. Oh, no. I think I used one of the more civil terms, so I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I think you're fine. I have a couple other questions here. If you want me to ask them.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So Preston Cox has asked a couple of times on the chat. Will you use Queen Chrysalis' vector to make an MLP vector of Maleficent?
An interesting choice, as I think Maleficent is. Well, Chrysalis is somewhat inspired by Maleficent, this dark being who is sort of the counterpoint to the pure and innocent princess and her love interest. So a big analogy. I don't think I feel like if I made a Maleficent OC, I wouldn't make her a changeling though, because that would in some ways diminish Chrysalis. It'd be like, hey, she's already lost so much. Why should I have someone horn in our territory? But what then could a Maleficent proxy be?
Within MLP, the only one could be Chrysalis, of course.
Oh, and I also see Lightning Bliss saying in the chat, Maleficent is best Disney villain, and I'm remembering one of her revenge videos where she imposes herself over Maleficent to get revenge upon myself. And let's see here. Now, let's see. I also, because I'm now thinking of Lightning Bliss and Maleficent, I'm suddenly picturing Maleficent as a bit shorter.
Really?
Although maybe I should just make her a really demonic dragon. Although that makes me think
it might be a good idea. Yeah.
Although, James, are you familiar with the legend of Fafnir?
Yes, but not that much actually. But please tell us, because it's always good to refresh the mythologies.
Well, I'm just thinking, Maleficent could turn into a dragon out of sheer evil power. I mean, she said all the powers of hell. Think about that for a minute. No, I don't think any Disney movie could get away with that these days. The closest we ever got was The Princess and the Frog and the was it the Voodoo? No, what the villain's name? He had friends.
Yeah, it was
the other side. That's
the only. I am thinking bad guy from Princess and the Frog, Baron Shamedi, but no, that's from that's from Live and Let Die, the James Bond movie. Who was also a voodoo guy.
Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Trinary's got my back. Dr. Facilier, the Shadow Man. Now, but back to Fafnir real quick. Darth Revan on Twitch has it right. Fafnir is a great dragon, but he didn't start as a dragon. And this is where I'm making the connection between Maleficent and perhaps some sort of proxy in My Little Pony. Fafnir started as a dwarf, but was so overcome with greed he transformed into a dragon. Now imagine a character who was so hateful, angry, greedy, or spiteful that it had such a physical impact. They became not a dragon, but a grotesque approximation, something close to it. And so that became their new look. Granted, that's not point for point a Maleficent, but I could see that being an interesting character. In fact, because of their transformation, they even hate the world more than blaming them for this transformation.
Perhaps I should open the YouTube stream because the Twitch stream is. Oh no, it's going now. Okay, good.
Oh, Rainbow Hooves has to head out. So Rainbow, thank you for swinging by. And man, I made up for some lost time with getting Patreon Wars to people last weekend. Yours is next on the emailing. I figured out a good system to export everything. So sorry for the diversion, but I wanted to wish him well.
Yeah.
So that's me rambling on ideas. Just what I really like to do. It's fun.
We have a couple other questions, although a couple of them actually are addressed to me. I don't know how I feel about that. Is it okay if I answer questions addressed to me as well?
Oh, it's more than okay. It's the point. I'm glad people are asking questions.
Okay. This is because it's your stream. This is more your show than my show, but I wanted to make so it's okay then. It's fine.
It's a chance for me to catch up with friends. That's the long and the short of it.
Well, I have a question here that I think it was addressed to me, Movie Slate, but I think we can also talk about it because this is something that you can also answer, Silver. What is your favorite movie?
Ooh. I think that depends very much on what genre or topic. But here, your OC is literally named Movie Slate. Have at it.
Well, thing is that for Movie Slate, I think I went the simple route and I said, you know what, it's going to be confusing for some people after a while. Movie Slate is her own character. Like I myself don't consider myself Movie Slate. I am, of course, I'm a guy. So I am just me, and Movie Slate is herself. She's her own character. And many times we don't even agree on the movie. The one example that I always like to go down is that she doesn't like From Dusk Till Dawn, while I very much love that movie. However, when it comes to our favorite movie, it's the same, and that movie is Aliens, the sequel to Alien.
Oh, Aliens is fantastic. Although it took me a long time to work up the courage to see it.
Oh, yeah, and you know when how old were you when you first watched Aliens?
Oh gosh, I was like 16, I think.
Yeah, that's actually a good age to watch that movie. I was like 13 or something like that when I watched it. I was very young. It's very intense. It's like people say Alien is more scary and Aliens is more thrilling. It's true, but the thing with Aliens is that it's like the difference between Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 4. Like Alien is a lot more slow pace, atmospheric, and it's about not just so much the jump scare, but you don't even know how safe you are going to be in this spaceship. Aliens is scary in that there is 15 of the things that were in the first movie and they're coming at you and you're running out of ammunition and you're going to die. You're going to be torn to pieces. And that's the thing. It's like it's a different type of scary. It's a scary of like, oh my god, the threat is coming at me super fast. What am I gonna do?
And then there's, for me, it's the face huggers. I find them even more frightening than the xenomorph.
Oh yeah, those are actually the worst. Like just the physiology of the alien, the xenomorph, is Freudian in nature and horrific.
Yes, H.R. Geiger was really tapping into something primal and terrifying when he designed all of that.
He did. The thing is that Giger himself, he did confess that he came up with the alien idea, mostly fueled by Ridley Scott and his own ideas, but he finds that horrific. So he said, "I am going to take my nightmares and I am gonna turn them into your nightmares. Like I'm gonna take my nightmares and I'm gonna give them to you."
Well, I received that gift. Is there a return receipt?
No, you're gonna have to live with that now.
Dang it.
Lightning Bliss says that she's gonna huggle your face because she's the ultimate face hugger.
Does that mean a little bliss will pop out of my chest later? Like, hello. Oh, and she can be more like Spaceballs. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
Honey, hello, Maratanga. Oh, that's right, and it's because Aliens is also Lightning Bliss's favorite movie,
Oh yes.
right?
Oh yes. She's what is it? Twink would make a great alien proxy for a skit. Blissy's Ellen Ripley through and through.
You know what? I had an idea years ago of making an Aliens update for Movie Slate, and I wanted to do the scene where they are in the alien nest about to like get attacked by the aliens after they discover this one colonist that has died because of the chest burster. And I was going to do that scene, and I was gonna have Movie Slate, Matt Munchkin, and Lightning Bliss in colonial marine get-ups shooting the aliens that were going to be changelings. And I never followed through with that idea because I got super busy with commissions. I still want to do it. It's still there, but I
Well,
can't have the time.
well, it's never too late. There's always a chance to draw things. Like I say, I should give a shout out to another creative in the community, Red Palette. I got her a drawing that was years delayed. My bad, very bad.
Oh, man.
So much so that she had even forgotten she had talked about it. So, but she said, "Oh yeah, forgive me for the late reply. I've been getting over human malware. Can't say the actual thing on YouTube. So I just want to send Red Palette health, healing, and recovery swiftly. So we're all thinking of you." But man,
Yeah, please get better.
oh, good.
Get well soon.
Yeah, I am just a bundle of laughs tonight, aren't I? Here,
Remember, 5 hours of sleep and 9 hours of work, and you barely had a mental break before starting the stream. You are more than excused, man.
but I can at least also have weird imagery. I'm just gonna be holding on to that. I haven't got to make you cackle like that in a good while.
I just find it funny. I don't know. I'm gonna have to explain to you why it's so funny to me after the stream. It's so silly. You didn't answer though. My favorite movie on Movie Slates is Aliens, but what's yours? I mean, like right now, right at this moment, what is your favorite movie today?
Twist my arm. Although I'm going to slightly delay with an apology. I've been promoting this as with Movie Slate. I thought that would be the better choice because I didn't know whether icon to use, and I thought that was your flagship OC. But I don't mean to say you are that character.
No, that's fine. My Griffon guy, because I also have a burp. We could have been like two burps, one on each side. It would have been funny. But my Movie Slate's blog has way more followers than my DeviantArt blog, not my DeviantArt page, so that's fine. Although she's on Tumblr, so she doesn't count.
Oh well, I don't know about that. Actually, let's let me just pop over to your. Did I tag? Oh no, I accidentally clicked on the Brony Chef on his Twitter. I just want to see if I could get a picture of your Griffin OC. I can still put it in the
Oh,
beta.
I'll send it to you.
In the
Send it to you. Hold on a minute.
in
I have
Devana.
my Griffon OC's vectors. I have my Griffon OC's vectors in speed dial. I can send them to you right away.
Excellent.
It's a PNG, so it's transparent background. You can use it whenever you want.
Oh, that's perfect. Now
Yeah, and you can.
but my favorite movie, man. My favorite, oh boy, that's really hard for me because it really depends if I'm looking for a comedy, if I'm looking for just memories of being with people. Case in point, I can't watch Frozen without feeling some pain in my chest, but it's not out of any emotion. During the actual viewing of the movie, while sitting with a friend, a character said something really dumb. I don't think it was Olaf. I think it was Kristoff. And my friend walloped me in the chest, given how stupid that was. So the whole theater heard me going, "Oh, why did you do that?" So, yeah. So, but maybe, again, it's like your favorite is not categorically, it's not objectively the best cinematography. Transformers, the movie, was one of the most impactful films I saw growing up because of what it did. I mean, it killed Optimus Prime. It had this high energy. The Touch by Stan Bush is one of the best 80s power ballads you could listen to.
You've got the touch.
Oh yeah. Can't hear that without my blood pumping. So it really was an impact, and as such, I always feel a very powerful nostalgia when I watch it. Other movies I really love: Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh yes.
If I let myself, I'll get onto a quoting spree. Hell, we did that. We even quoted that at work today. So,
which part did you quote?
Well, one of my coworkers said, "What a strange person." To which I replied with nasty, pointy teeth. And he said to me, "I am just so glad that someone got that."
What an eccentric performance.
Actually, that you say it, now I realize I actually misquoted. I should have made a French. Now go away, or I will taunt you a second time.
You sons of a silly person! Your mother was a hamster, and your father smells of elderberries.
You English kniggets.
I told them we already have one.
see, we're doing it without even trying. I'm in a quoting spree. Why? What makes me do this?
I command you to stand aside. Wait a minute, you did get into that scene.
Of course I did.
You got that scene. Who animated that? Oh my god, who animated that?
Crown Prince.
Oh, that was so funny. That was hilarious. It only gets funnier when in the follow-up scene and they cut to you with no limbs and just type in the screenplay. That was so good. Who's writing this? Cut to Silver, just basically a worm, no worms, no nothing. He's writing with his beak. Haha.
That's right, and that is why I shouldn't be allowed to write fan fiction.
Oh, I have a bunch of other questions written from the chat, guys, but I'm seeing an awesome question, also movie related, on Twitch from Drinking Buddy, who's asking a question for the both of you. What is your favorite James Bond film and why? Asking because I have been binging the films as they were free to watch on YouTube. That's a good question.
See,
you go first, Silver.
I really love Skyfall. I found it, as my friends had introduced me to all manner of James Bond works, including Moonraker, broke my brain. But Skyfall just seemed so different and so personal to Bond. So I loved it. I thought it's my favorite, my absolute favorite Bond.
It's easily the most grounded of the Daniel Craig movies, while also being kind of like the most insane. That action sequence with the train at the beginning of the film and whatnot, that is some Christopher Nolan stuff. That is really good. That's how you start a James Bond movie.
Now, but is that what's your favorite though?
It's Skyfall is up there. It's not it's my favorite of the Daniel Craig ones easily. But it's not my favorite. My favorite Bond, it's the one that almost everybody dismisses for being too goofy. My favorite one is Roger Moore, actually. My favorite Bond. And of all of the films that he did, which I think he's the James Bond who made the most James Bond movies, I think he made one more movie than Sean Connery, I think. And my favorite one is For Your Eyes Only.
I need a reminder on the plot of For Your Eyes Only. Excuse me.
For Your Eyes Only is the Skyfall equivalent of Roger Moore, because it's a much more grounded James Bond movie. It's the least goofy of the movies. It's got a needlessly complicated plot. It starts with a boat, a Russian boat that sinks in the coast of Greece, and this Greek oceanographer, ocean researcher, he's tasked with the mission of recovering a nuclear device that controls nuclear missiles from that boat. And in the process of trying to recover it, he gets gunned to death, and his entire family does, and only the daughter is left alive. And then the daughter is sworn revenge to find this guy and kill him. And Bond gets involved in there because he's trying to recover the nuclear device as well, and he crosses paths with the daughter of the family, the only survivor left, and then they together join forces to go after these people. And it's got a kick-ass action scene where Bond and the daughter are driving on a battered Renault car through a vineyard, and it's really good. It's very well put together. But the basic plot really doesn't matter. It's more Roger Moore's James Bond was always the goofy type. Was always the I'm gonna make a joke. I'm gonna just arch my eyebrow and look like a clown, actually an Octopussy. Movie that I hate saying the title of. I hate saying the title of that movie. But in that one, he's a clown.
Oh, I should introduce.
You should censor them.
I should introduce you to my friend Chrysalid Bloodborne. His choice of name. He can't stand that movie title.
It's so bad.
What Moonraker did to my brain, Octo did to his.
It's awful. I hate it. Anytime I say that movie, I want to brush my teeth with soap. It's the worst. And I am the kind of guy who swears like a truck driver. I am surprised that I haven't already dropped any swear words. Wow. But saying that title makes me sick. But no, am I juggling your memory? Do you remember this movie at all?
I think I remember it. It's not
jumping I'm gonna give you the I'm gonna give you the best scene in the entire movie, and this is one of the reasons why I like it. Because Roger Moore, like I said, Roger Moore's James Bond was very goofy, very very funny. Doesn't take the character seriously, but in For Your Eyes Only, he does, and he actually plays Bond like a stone cold killer, because that's what Bond is. He's a spy. He doesn't have remorse to kill the bad guys. And there is this awesome scene where he's facing against another international assassin, and Bond is on foot, the assassin is on a car, and he managed to somehow get ahead of him by going up a flight of stairs and shoots the guy in the shoulder. The guy loses control of the car, and he's left hanging on the edge of a cliff. And he walks towards the guy, And earlier on in the movie, this international assassin killed one of Bond's friends and left a pin of a dove in the car. So Bond takes the pin and he's like, "So you left this on my friend's corpse, right?" Throws the pin in the car. And of course, it's kind of like a goofy moment because the car starts tipping, starts falling out. You think he's just going to fall for that. No, the guy starts trying to climb out of the car with like a shot in the arm and everything. And Bond just pushes the car, kicks the car off the cliff. And the car just falls tumbling down. And I don't know if they intended for this to happen, but as it falls down, you can see the guy also falling off of the car. It's like, oh my God, it's the most violent death Roger Moore has ever done. And then he's looking over the cliff. This team of this other team of guys that's coming with Bond, they get up to him. They see the guy also at the bottom of the cliff, car and everything, and Bond is like, he couldn't handle the height. It's so brutal that it's great. It's like, and moments like that are throughout the entire movie. So just for that, that's my favorite Bond movie, For Your Eyes Only. Check it out if you haven't. It holds up, surprisingly so.
Although it's funny, I was watching the scene of Man with a Golden Gun yesterday, just because it still baffles me, that scene where he's fighting Nick Nack, and just like, wow, they got away with this. They got away with this.
Oh yeah, they sure did. I mean, that's the 60s, 70s. You could get away with anything. Political correctness, what's that?
You call it political correctness. I often call it basic human decency.
Oh man, isn't that the movie that turns into the Dukes of Hazzard for like 10 minutes?
Oh god, with the southern sheriff.
Yeah, the Texan cop that is like, for some reason he is in Shanghai or wherever the movie takes place, and it turns into the Dukes of Hazzard where Bond is just driving a car, he's doing loop-de-loops.
And he's got this guy along for the ride. Yeah, fans. When I was doing reading up on the archetype of the Joker or the Fool, I did a search for what were the worst comedy characters in movies, and without fail, that sheriff came up every single time. People loathed him.
He's awful. He's not even a hee ha so bad is good Michael Bay style kind of character. No, he's just bad.
And it says something when your comedy character isn't even invoking a laugh. It's like, you sir have my pity.
Technically, the quote unquote comedy character is the little person that's in the movie. Technically. But I don't find that funny at all. And looking back to it is offensive as all get out.
Oh, and Enderpup in the YouTube chat. Yeah, Jar Jar is up there with the really bad comedy characters.
Oof. Yeah, because there is nothing worse than comedy that doesn't make you laugh.
Or comedy that makes you think, wow, that's cruel. You're a sadist.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I didn't think Jar Jar was a sadist, except there was one Robot Chicken where it was one of the Star Wars specials where they hint that it was Jar Jar was the true Sith Lord who manipulated everyone. Yeah. And it's like, you know what? I would accept this.
Isn't that the one where isn't that the scene where Palpatine is falling down the shaft of the Death Star and he's calling everyone and apologizing and he's calling Jar Jar and Jar Jar is like, oh, it's fine, Papi, I forgive you. Turns around, he's dressed like a Sith Lord.
Oh yeah, dude, laughing. Ah, ha, ha, ha. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and that one predates the whole theory that came out in like 2013 or something like that of people saying, wow, Jar Jar Binks is a Sith Lord. Like that one is from like 2005.
Maybe they based it on that.
I miss Star Wars being controlled by George Lucas.
Well, honestly, I still need to check out The Mandalorian. But
oh man, Mandalorian is pretty good. I see season 1. Haven't watched 2 yet, but I season 1 is great. Well
then, something to aim for. But I've once again derailed us from answering people's questions. I'm bad.
Very true.
I'm bad at this.
No, you're not. When was the last time you did one of these streams, man?
Last week, really.
Oh, there you go. So this is the usual then. I'm pretty sure people are used to this.
Probably. I am a random flow of thought kind of guy.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna continue with the flow. So this is like one of the first questions that I saw in the chat. I wrote it down from Beston Bruno. Do you miss MLP since its cancellation?
Well, James, your thoughts?
Oh, did it get cut off? Dang it! It did it again. It got cut off again.
Do you miss MLP since it ended?
Oh! It didn't. Oh, I was waiting for you to say. No, this is addressed to the both of us, of course.
Yes.
Okay, I will answer. I will answer quickly. No, actually, I don't. Because it ended in such a good note that I don't really miss it. I think it had a wonderful ending, and I'm very happy that it happened. I don't miss it at all. It has its place.
Excellent. Okay. I've had a weird mental state, partly due to all that's been happening this week. I've noticed a decrease in activity around my channel and such, and I know it's because the show has concluded. I still enjoy talking about it. I still enjoy drawing it. So in that sense, I don't miss it in that I feel like there's no more creativity to draw from it. What I've missed, and I've missed for a good while, is the rhythm. Because when season 2 was airing and there was this beat to the week. Thursday was a preview day. You got to see a snippet of what was to come. Friday was the day before, and you maybe got another preview scene. Then Saturday. And Saturday afternoon was this explosion of creativity in the fandom as people did all these artworks and comics and skits. And that carried forward well to, I think, Tuesday. And then, like, Wednesday was sort of the midweek, okay, hit the reset button, and then the whole thing started up again. But then, with this onslaught of early airings and simultaneous broadcasts, that rhythm disappeared completely. And I think that perhaps broke some people's focus or attention. It was now just something that was coming too fast to really be creative. No sooner had you tapped into one episode and thought of a good joke than there was another episode and people had already moved on to the next meme. And so I miss that early rhythm. That was not a defining trait of my life or week, but it was a part that allowed me to build a little more excitement.
It did have a very strange rhythm. That is true, because it moved really, really fast. But remember how and you're comment about the memes. Remember how at the beginning MLP was labeled as a meme? In fact, it did get labeled as a meme in meme.com right away. Remember that?
Yes, for a time we were the most bizarre thing on the internet. I kind of miss that innocence.
Man, that was like 10 years ago, and it was like so weird. It's actually getting close to the anniversary of like me getting into MLP now that I think about it. So maybe because memes nowadays move so quickly, where it was one meme a month, now we're going at like one meme a week, to the point that memes are starting to become irrelevant, where only the real influential ones, like the distracted boyfriend or the Tide Pods or things like that, are the ones that are managed to like survive more than like a month. But maybe that's the reason why it falls into irrelevancy. That's a thing that is also worrying. It's like, how relevant is MLP in this current day and age with pop culture? And the real question is, was MLP really that pop culturally relevant in like the 80s when it first came out? There is always that. I'm talking too much. Am I talking too much?
Not at all.
Okay. Did you watch this? And this is kind of like a follow-up question because this is MLP related. Did you watch this documentary series called The Toys That Made Us?
Ah, yes, I saw. I especially saw their piece on the origin of My Little Pony.
Yeah, that feud between it was between Bonnie Sackerly and this other guy, and who created the concept of My Little Pony and whatnot. Like they wouldn't agree with each other. Like that's super fascinating. And if you remember in that episode in question, there was moments of high activity, and then there was nothing but plateaus. And then G4 happens, and now we are at the beginning of another plateau. So it's going to be a good like a decade or half a decade until we get another tune of creativity and somebody comes up with a really novel idea with to do with MLP.
Well, that I'm not going to wait a decade to be creative.
Oh heck no! You
Think,
you have to find your own outlets, of course.
or I keep doing this outlet because I still find it fun. If it stops being
Yeah,
fun, then it's time to move on. Have I have ideas, but that doesn't mean I'm just gonna cold turkey quit MLP.
no, of course not. I mean, I that's one thing that I really don't like about this fandom or any fandom or any person really is when they go, oh, I'm done, I'm out, that's it, everything's over, bye, and then they rage quit and they take away everything with them. So they delete their gallery, they delete their YouTube channel or their Twitter or their Tumblr or whatever, and they poof, bamoosh. And I'm like, don't do that. Unless there is a legal reason for you to do that, don't do that.
Normally, I don't think there is a legal. I mean, okay, every fandom work technically is an infringement on copyright.
Yes.
Technically, but most places are smart enough to know, don't fight the fans on this. This is how you word of mouth is actually more beneficial than anything.
Yeah, otherwise DeviantArt wouldn't exist.
Although I heard today that Suecia and Fuji TV are they had like a bot go rogue and it's been flagging anything Dragon Ball or similarly related, like even a meme.
Okay,
Hmm?
I'm sorry, Silver, but you're saying they have a bot gone rogue. That's that's horrific. That's scary.
That's right. That's
Giant robot. Oh no, it's killing us.
it's a giant robot. It's a giant sensor bot. The YouTube bot has gone amok. Beady beady beady. Copyright violation.
It's censoring the word elderberries. Apparently, it meant something in the 1800s, and now it's a swear word. Oh no.
Oh, real quick in the chat, River. I know the feel. I hear that you when you say you're so tired, but the best thing then is to get some rest if you can. Go to bed, rest. The world will be here when you wake up, and if not, well, then you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, if the world disappears while you're sleeping, then you didn't notice it. You're gonna be okay. What? Got more questions? You're up for another one?
Yee.
To keep it in the MLP theme, Lightning Dash asks, "Who is your least favorite character in season 7?" And I have to think about season 7. So you go first if you have one in mind.
Well, let's see here. Okay, so season 4 was the end of Twilight's the Golden Oaks Library. That's kind of the defining contextual moment. Season 5
Yeah.
introduced us to Starlight Glimmer. Season 6 was her was Starlight getting her footing in Ponyville, culminating in her saving Equestria. So season 7 would be the Pillars era,
Yeah.
with with I admit kind of an underwhelming uh, season in that regard. It doesn't really stand out in the memory as strongly. So who then was a character that rubbed me the wrong way in season 7. I'm sort of daisy chaining my way through the episodes now. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing it mentally as well.
It's hard to say anything. Royal problem. Well, okay. I will admit that Prince Rutherford is in there, and yeah, if ever there was a character who I think you're meant to like, but a never could connect. Rutherford not asking for trouble. Basically, he's going to get his whole people killed for his pride.
Oh.
And
Oh, okay. Yes, the episode where he refuses to get help from Pinkie Pie. That one.
And Pinkie thankfully saves the day because she understands that it's help given but not asked for. He keeps his dignity but still gets assistance. But after that episode, I just thought, you know, I would lead a revolt. There's got to be a better chief out there. Now, thankfully, is when they got beyond Rutherford. So there was Yona, there was the not Flugelhorn, Yevitophone player, Yak. They started introducing more Yaks who didn't have to be antagonistic, and as a result, my adoration for the Yaks increased tenfold. Rutherford, I'd still chuck off a cliff.
So what you're saying, Silver, is that you wouldn't mind getting your butt kicked by Jonah, but Rutherford, he's not ever gonna get a hoof on you.
Rutherford shall not harm one feather, but Yona, I'd be hugging her even if she tried to pummel me.
I'm pretty sure she will still pummel you after you hug her because she don't hug.
I see you're telling this story. And then Yona hug Hippogriff. Then smash!
Cue sound effect.
Well, let's see here. What else have I got here? Oh, just lots of bunking.
I'm so glad that you still have the sound box. It's so good.
Yes, it was James.
Oh, it's great.
James and I first met doing the MBS show, and well, we stuck with that for several years, and that was where I really started to use a sound effect machine. And
man, it did great.
I think there are parts of the internet that are probably lamenting, why would you do that?
It's a thing of wonder. Seriously, don't ever stop using the sound box. It's great. Oh, go ahead.
I just need to have batteries on hand.
How many batteries did you go through with that thing?
Honestly, it gets a lot of longevity. I think I've only had to replace it twice.
Wow, dude! And we were doing the NBA show like back in 2014. That's awesome.
Uh-oh.
But then again, it's only sounds. I don't think it's going to use much batteries anyway.
Oh, pardon me. Elsing Ghost is alerting me there is a bot in my Twitch chat. So let's see here. How can I remove?
Oh, yeah, there is.
Let's see here.
Well, you're taking care of that. I will just explain very quickly. My least favorite character in season 7, much to my chagrin, because I really like the way that they portray him in the comics, but I didn't like the way that they portray him in the show. I think what they did with Starswirl the Bearded, it's kind of infuriating.
He became truly the Starswirl the Bearded jerk.
Oh man, Starswirl the Grumpy. He's so grumpy. Why did he make him that grumpy? I don't know. But I don't know. It was pretty underwhelming. Like they needed to have Applejack and everyone else tell him, "Hey, you take it easy. Just listen to Twilight." I don't know. He rubbed me off the wrong way. I think I knew what they were wanting to do, but it was
Well,
could have been handled better.
I agree. They made him so bitter and angry. I loved the Starswirl from Reflections, the comic.
Yes, he was great in that one.
Yeah, equal parts Twilight and Pinkie Pie.
Yeah, he was properly goofy, but at the same time, the moment that he has to destroy the mirror, you can totally see how much that it breaks him way more than it breaks Celestia. It's such a good moment.
And he just seems so lamentful. He just sighs, "I'm getting too old for this."
I'm getting too old for this, and it's not even made for laughs. It's hard to read because it hurt him so much. What a good comic that reflections.
It's although
It had it. Go ahead.
oh no, go ahead, please.
It had its problems, of course, but I only mark all of the problems that comic had due to its ambition, because it was trying something so different and so weird and in a way so mature for like an IP such as MLP. That was like, wow, you could totally see this working something like a Marvel or something like that. This is like something out of Marvel superheroes, alternate dimensions, time travel. It's great, and it's not done for laughs. It's actually tackled rather seriously.
Yes, we learn Princess Celestia has clay hooves.
Oh yeah,
Which,
she does.
honestly, and truth be told, that was way before the show was willing to show her being a bit more. Well, the show was willing to show. Anyway, it was one of the earliest times they were willing to give Celestia a flaw.
She
Granted,
no longer is the perfect princess.
well, here's this. I genuinely believe Celestia could not have lasted through 9 whole seasons if she was always the perfect princess.
No, people would have like written her off a while ago. She's likable because she's not perfect.
I mean, hey, even Cadence, who was even a bit more of a fairy tale princess, she developed some quirks. It's the necessity. Of course, she also get. I do appreciate that neither of us, when talking about season 7, said Flurry Heart was our least favorite.
Well, I'm thinking characters that were like either introduced or presented in the quote unquote flesh in the season, and Flurry Heart is season 6.
That's
That's where she first came out.
that's right. She was in the season, but okay, ragging on Flurry Heart is still something of an in joke in the fandom.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer though. I have no problem with Flurry Heart, but when people call her the devil's spawn, I kind of giggle. Her eyes are too big.
Right? I still feel bad for Cadence. Look at the size of Flurry's head and the size of Cadence's hips. This was not an easy process.
There was a comic somewhere where they show how Cadence gave birth to Flurry Heart, and she's just teleporting outside of Cadence's body.
Honestly, if you want to take the Dragon Ball Super approach, yeah, that sounds way better.
Yeah, she teleported out. She teleported outside. It's like not even need for a cesarean. It's like, no, there you go.
Hey, that sounds perfect. Honestly, I feel like Pony should be lined up. Hey, can we do that for when my kid's born? Hey, Cadence, help his sister out.
I need to find that comic. The best thing is Cadence's and Shiny's faces because they are just horrified. They have like this face.
Yes.
Oh, I need to find it. It's so funny. Okay, we have one. We have a bunch of other questions actually. One from Champ to Stay, which is actually a pretty good question. I see him asking it a couple times. Champ to Stay asks, "What's the most difficult thing you've ever made?"
Most difficult thing. Well, there's okay. We for St. Patrick's Day one year we did a reviewer comedy animation called The Serpent's Tail. That production really hurt. I mean, it really it demanded a great deal of time and energy. Not everyone was really on board with it. It was kind of my baby. I'd come up with a premise. I did a lot of the backgrounds. I edited the audio. We couldn't get it done in time and folks voiced that they felt it didn't match Viva's comedy style, which led to not a falling out, but realization that we probably wouldn't be working on further projects like this. That one, I think that was in 2016, which is the year I can point to and say, yeah, this is where I really fell behind in everything. In fact, in some ways, I feel like I'm still recovering from 2016 in that regard.
Oh man.
But that was the project that really was the hardest to put together, and one I can't. I can look back on other projects and kind of laugh at the process or marvel at what it took to get where we are. That one, I was just like, I tried my best. It didn't work. So them's the breaks. There's always going to be that one project.
Yeah, there is always that one thing that you want to do and that you can see it being turned into something and then it just falls apart. And yeah, it's really, really hard to see it, like having to face reality and say, yeah, this is not going to happen. This isn't going to work. And then you just have to let it go.
Well, we got it done. I mean, if nothing else, I could say we finished the project.
Oh, no, that's the good part. That's actually the quote unquote happy ending. Even though at the end you were completely burned out of it.
Yes. Like a massage, you might feel burnt out, but there is a happy ending.
Oh my god. What, your dialogue is written by James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy, I swear. There is a dramatic, very serious moment undercut with a joke.
Oh, you're saying I'm under the gun?
Writing from the Joss Whedon school of writing. Like, make it dramatic, sad, and intense, but for the love of God, tell a joke at the end. Hey, it works.
Yeah.
You talk about, you know, because you're talking about projects and whatnot. I'm gonna, if I may answer from my side.
Please.
Yeah. I thought like, oh, most difficult thing we've ever done, and like, I don't want to do one over on and say, well, move to another country and get a house and whatnot. It's like, no, that doesn't count artistic wise. Let's keep it art related. What I am currently doing actually is perhaps the most difficult thing I've ever done. I don't know if you saw what I have been doing on DeviantArt for the past year, like even before they put the new interface. But back in March of 2020, I put aside some of my commission work and I said, okay, I am starting to get burnt out. I'm not feeling all that artistic or inspired or sharp. So I need to do something about this. So I decided to start something that I simply call the Personal Projects Project, the PPP. And it was a placeholder of a name, but then I said, no, you know what? This is hilarious. I'm just going to keep it as the PPP because it's easy to remember.
Yes.
And what's basically, yeah, I mean, the PPP. And then I can just say, I'm just working on my personal projects and abbreviate it as it. I'm working on my PP.
Hey, I was wondering if you were there.
With all the immaturity that comes with it.
Indeed.
This was directly inspired by something that Yahtzee Croshaw from Zero Punctuation started doing in 2019, which he called Dev Diary, where he was programming one video game a month for 12 months. And I said, if Yahtzee can do 12 video games in 12 months, I am pretty sure that I can do one illustration a week for 52 weeks. And so far, I am on... Let me see, hold on a moment. Because I have to pull back and go to the projects folder. I am on project 49.
Wow.
Yeah. I have other projects that have been added there. I have to like remove, I think, 4 or 5. So technically it's project 44 of the 52. So I am on the home stretch. I am on single digits. I am literally on like the final 10. and I almost got it. And I am working on next week's project. The one that I posted this week is already up on my DeviantArt. It's a picture that I did of Eva Unit 2 from Evangelion, and I did that in like an hour or an hour and a half, and like. And I mean, the reason why the project is still going, it's difficult, it requires a lot of time, but man, it makes commissions go by on a flash because it's good for warm-up. It's super great. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna continue doing this. Plus,
Nice.
adds to the portfolio. Yeah. Very difficult, really hard, but man, is it rewarding.
Well, good
Not
on
even
you.
on the... Yeah, I don't even get a bunch of favorites, and I don't even check the favorites I get. I'm like, yeah, this is good. It feels good. Creative juices are flowing. This is awesome. Oh god, I just said that out loud with you here. I'm in trouble.
I will refrain. My finger is paused over the button, but instead I will just go with.
That's still bad.
Well, I could go with the spring if you want. I mean,
No, go with both at the same time. Let's see what happens.
okay. I've got my fingers on both buttons. Let's see which one wins. Oh, and it's the heart sire klaxon.
It's the maximum alert. Submarine is sinking. Oh no.
You're saying the ship is
Okay.
going down?
The ship is going. Cut to that clip from Steven Universe. Oh no, our ship. Oh man. We have a silly question from Connor Cartelpit, who's asking, Silver, how don't you die from being punched into orbit all the time?
Vitamins.
Vitamins, yeah, they're super important. And one more opinion one from Untitled. Have you seen Animaniacs 2020?
I watched a few episodes, but stopped after their attempt at parodying the NRA. Which oh dear, I'm risking getting political again. I didn't think it was a very effective satire. What was it?
I didn't watch it, so please illustrate.
Well, let's see here. Basically, it's a satire of the mentality of anti-gun control. But since they can't have people waving guns in this, everyone's getting bunnies. So they have a bunch of buns. And the guy selling all these buns is this redneck farmer stereotype, but he's really modeled after the head of the NRA. And basically, he's flooding the market with tons of buns. Just going to keep saying it like that. To the point where no one can function because there are all these buns in the way. And the only way the Warner Brothers and sister foil him is they get help from Australia, a bunch of dingoes. Because apparently in Australia they reduced gun ownership and are probably one of the models of gun control right now. So it honestly, as a satire, I didn't find it terribly insightful or funny. I had to do a little research to know, wait, who is this guy? And by the end, I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll take a little break. Also, the holidays were getting into full swing, so I have not had time to slow down.
Oh man, they are only available in Hulu, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have Hulu. Dang. Do you remember the days of cable and satellite TV and whatnot, where you had your package of channels that you had to pay individually, or they will like be all included?
I love that. I mean, again, kind of
Yeah.
like enjoying the flow of My Little Pony airings on first the Hub and then Discovery Family. Having, in a weird way, there's sort of a magic to not having everything on demand, that you need to be here at this time. You have a morning ritual, you have a habit, you have a rhythm to life. It's separate of the entertainment of the show, and yet when you change that habit, you feel like you realize something's missing. I think that's why we get sad when shows end.
But no, now you have to binge it, Silver. It's there.
Uh,
It's right now. All the episodes are there. Binge it. You have to watch it all. Your friends are talking about it on Twitter. You don't want to fall behind, do you? You don't want to catch the FOMO, do ya?
Not the
Because
FOMO. Well,
if you get the FOMO, then you're not part of the group anymore.
oh well.
For those of you who don't know, FOMO stands for fear of missing out, and it sucks.
Well, I will counter your FOMO with some JOMO. For
Jomo?
I have a poem by Michael Lewing, poet and cultural commentator. Oh, the joy of missing out, when the world begins to shout and rushes towards the shining thing, that latest bit of mental bling. Trying to have it, see it, do it, you simply know you won't go through it. The anxious clamor and the need, this restless hungry thing to feed. Instead, you feel the loveliness, the pleasure of your emptiness. You spurn the treasure on the shelf in favor of your peaceful self. Without regret, without a doubt, oh, the joy of missing out. Jomo.
I love that mentality. I wish more people were like that.
Honestly, I should. One of my goals is to make shorter videos to sort of, well, let people know I'm still here. Reading that poem might actually be a good thing to put. Good idea. Yay. Yay idea.
That's actually a good thought, yeah.
But yes, this is a poem he published that basically doing something that makes you happy and feel peaceful is way better than chasing the perpetual carrot. Which, hey, I will freely admit, I have pondered, oh, this came out, I should probably do a video on it. And then I realize, oh, I'm chasing the carrot. And even my insecurities about how is my channel really still an investment for people. It's like, oh, am I still hip and with it, yo? And the answer is, one, you were never hip, stop it. And
Aww.
two, do what you love. Because the newest thing is always going to be shifting. But passion, but enjoyment, that comes from you, and that's sustainable.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter if it's popular. If you have a passion for it and it's palpable and people feel it through your video, through your production, and they get into it, then it works. It works supernaturally.
Also, I should offer a clarification to Lady Arthur on Twitch, wondering about my earlier clay hooves comment with Celestia. To have clay feet is to say that you have imperfections, and there may not be instantly noticeable. Clay hooves is just the ponified version of that.
Gotta love those ponifications. Oh, wait. No. Oh, yeah. Oh God, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, the regarding missing out and whatnot. One thing that is really missing is that because of all the let's binge watch and let's just watch all these shows the day that they come out. People no longer do the let's watch one episode of this thing and then move on to the next one or watch something else or just focus on my work or read a book or anything. People don't do that anymore. They consume the thing immediately, and then when they consume it all, it's over.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like bad?
Sad is, I would say, again, part of the rhythm of enjoying like seasons 2 and 3 and forward. I really love seeing people's reaction, and that reaction solidified over the course of a week. But again, early releases, 2 episodes a weekend. Well, and the free access of the internet. Well, okay, the theoretically free access to the internet. You start to think, where's the talk? Where's the comics? Where's the reaction? I've seen plenty of shows. There aren't many where I'm hungry to see reactions. But that only works if you get it once a week. And you have to figure things out and process and maybe hear people's arguments while your view is still solidifying. By the end of My Little Pony,
There
we were a uneven mess.
Hmm. Yeah, no, you're correct. And that's something that shows no longer do. There is only one show that I can think of that is on streaming at the moment that does that thing of releasing one new episode every week and not dumping all of them at the same time. It's the Mandalorian does that.
Ah, yes, they don't post the whole thing in one go.
Yep, they don't. They actually are very gracious on that regard, and I appreciate Disney for doing it that way. That they released seasons 1 and 2, one episode a week for however long it was. Um, Also, that other TV show that came out last year that is like the best TV show ever made. Have you watched Chernobyl on HBO?
Oh wow, I've not watched it. I've heard of it. It sounds like something I need to watch when I have a little room to breathe afterwards. It sounds heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah. It is. It's heavy. It's not played. It's played straight and very clinical and very matter of fact. And it's the only word that I have to describe that show is harrowing.
Harrowing. That's a good
It's
description.
Yeah, it's the best show I saw last year. Not last year. I'm still in 2020 mentality. It's the best show that I saw in 2019. Perhaps the best thing that I watched in all of 2019. It's fantastic. Whew, heavy stuff though, but yeah.
I I get
So
that impression. Oof.
it is. It's great.
Also, just to divert for a second, there's a Sweetie Bloom in the chat. Hello, Sweetie Bloom.
Hi, Sweetie Bloom. Hi. Maybe you don't know me, but I snuck in here. I'm a Spaniard.
Well, I think I people are lucky to know you.
Oh, don't say that.
Which
I wasn't expecting that. Oh no! Don't make me cry. Stop it.
oh okay, well fine.
No. Oh my god! Don't do it.
I think
I'm not good with praise, and that was very heartfelt and heartwarming, and it caught me off guard. Dang it!
Oh yes. Well, Sweetie can attest to this. I'm very big on trying to kill people with kindness.
Oh man! Oh, oh hey, Fluttershy style.
Though if I keep using that sound effect, I'm worried I will train you to just burst out laughing whenever you hear it.
It's a very funny sound effect.
Sort of conditioning, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Pavlovian style.
Damn you, Pavlov! Yeah, I can quote a poem, but ultimately I keep falling back on Dragon Ball Abridged. But
Don't do.
yeah, talk about things ending and feeling a little sad. There you go. That was
Oh no.
what 2019, the year of endings.
Yes. Yeah, actually. How many things did end in 2019? It was Game of Thrones, MLP, Star Wars, the first run of the MCU. A few more things did end. Big Bang Theory ended also in 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BronyCon ended.
That's true. BronyCon ended as well. Man, talk about dodging a bullet. Holy cow.
Oh yeah, we I think we were talking about that just before the stream. That
Yeah.
there's no way they could have known, but ending it right then probably was the best choice they could have made.
It was the brightest of the ideas. That was the right idea. They timed it perfectly. Everyone at the BronyCon committee looking at the situation in 2020, just removing the bead of sweat. Phew!
Oh, also a quick shout out in the chat. Batfire creates content. I sees ya. I notice ya. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Sweetie, our social lives did not end in 2019. It's just our social lives had to adapt in 2020 and continue to do so. I still hold out hope for getting to see people in person, though likely at the end of this year. Middle
And hopefully,
middle of this year is when I hope the vaccine will really become more widely available.
yeah. And there is good news in that one of the vaccines might be able to take care of the new variant of the human malware that is going about.
Ah, yes, he used the term.
I don't want you to get the ban or this video demonetized or whatever it is, or censored.
Thankfully, that only happened once, but it was early on, and honestly, I was like, no, that wasn't an act of misinformation. My friend Full Papers gave a link to supporting doctors, legitimate, fully vetted, but it's the YouTube algorithm. So,
Yep, cannot trust it. Can't trust the bot.
especially apparently if it's with Suecia or Fuji TV, must
Hey,
must ban Dr. Giro commands.
mass destroy, ban all humans. I have a couple questions here addressed about Movie Slate from Champ to Stay.
Mm-hmm.
He's wondering what is with Movie Slate's film roles and why is her hair like a film main or whatever. Well, I I don't know. I thought, well, back in 2012, which is when I came up with the idea of, oh, movie pony. I should make an Ask blog about a pony that reviews movies, because that's when Ask blogs on Tumblr were like all the rage. And I was like, movie stuff, movie stuff. Maybe I can do something interesting with the pony's design. Do I turn the pony into a camera? No, that's weird. Do I make the pony robot? No, that's not fun. Okay, so it's gotta be something with, what do I do then? Something with the hair. Yeah, something with the hair. But what do I put in the hair? Do I put a camera on the hair? No, I was obsessed with like something about the camera, and then I was like, you cannot make the camera into the head, but you can take what's in the camera, that is the film celluloid, and just put it on the pony's head and make hair with it. Hey, a hair that is celluloid, and then yeah, that can work, right? And then I came up with the stupidest, most needlessly complicated design for a horse ever, and I have tortured myself drawing Movie Slate's mane until on the last third of last year, I managed to come up with a brush on Photoshop that actually is like drawing holes on a row. So I have been using that to draw Movie Slate's hair, so it's a lot easier to draw. And even with that, even if I save a lot of time with that, it's still a lot of time that it takes to draw her gosh darn hair. People seem to remember her. Her design is original and whatnot, so hey, go for it. And Ender Pop, my accent is Spaniard.
Well,
You asking what your accent, Spanish?
honestly, I think Movie Slate's design is one of the most wonderfully innovative OCs.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I mean,
see, he's suffering for the kindness. Everyone, keep praising him. Praise him.
no, stop. No, you know what's my actual fear of like being praised too much? It's not a thing of it's not a thing of false modesty. There is actually a legit concern about being praised too much. Like, it worries me that if I get too much praise, and if you want to continue with the MLP stuff and whatnot, I remember having the mysterious Murderwell Rainbow Dash just keeps getting praised and praised all the time, and then the praise goes to her head, and then she just becomes an egomaniac and she goes insufferable.
Yeah.
That's my fear. I am worried about becoming like that. And you could say, oh, but James, that's never going to happen to you. I know you. You're never going to be like that. And I'm like, no, trust me, that can happen. I have seen people that were super humble become so full of themselves that nobody else can be in the room with them, only them. and it's really dangerous to praise a person too much. So I appreciate the praise all the time, a lot, but believe me, criticism goes way longer than praise. And in the end, you learn a lot more from being criticized and getting feedback than from. And it's very appreciated and it's great, but that one person that is always saying, "Oh, of all the stuff that you do, oh, that's great, everything is great, everything you do is great." This is not true. Not everything you do is great. There's going to be a lot of garbage out there. There's going to be a lot of good stuff, but not everything is going to be great. So praise has to be given mindfully, not not all the time. Because if you give praise too much, then it's like the stock market. If you put too much money in it, after a while, money becomes irrelevant, and that's when it crashes. So you have to be very careful with praise.
I agree, but I will also caution that not enough acknowledgement of your strengths, too much self-derision, and you start losing confidence in oneself. So too far in
Oh, absolutely.
either direction is a vice.
Yes, you have to be very careful. That's how you have to give it, like I said, mindfully. Like you don't have to starve a person of praise, but you don't have to give them praise all the time. Like it's like water. You cannot keep drinking water all the time. After a while, you're gonna get a water poisoning, and that's not good for you.
There's such a thing as water poisoning?
Oh yes, there is actually. If you drink too much water, at one point your body stops taking it, and I think something happens to your cells, and I think you start suffering renal failure actually because your kidneys cannot process all the water that you're putting them through.
Well, honestly, I'm not great at drinking enough water, ergo, I don't think that'll ever be a fear for me. But
Oof.
you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And,
The regular should be between 2 and 3 liters of water every day. If you drink more than 4 or 5, then you have a problem.
now, you see, once upon a time, I would have had to dock you some cash for St. Oof, as I did with my friend Anime Christie. But I've heard that from enough people, I've realized I can't fight the meme. It's there. I don't know why it's there. I don't understand, but it's there. They're there.
Can't help it. It's the nature of memes. They find a way into our lives.
Oh, let's see.
And what was I answering? Oh, it was the Movie Slate with the main and whatnot. Yeah. We have a question from TM Writer. What are your thoughts on the Student 6?
Well, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, as we haven't really gotten to talk since they hit the scene.
That's right. That's right. Because we stopped doing the reviews. Well, I stopped showing up on the reviews on like season 7. That's right. I am sad that they didn't show up earlier. I hope they showed up in season 7 so we could have like a nice 3-season arc with all of them because they are wonderful and I love the 6 of them and I think Silverstream is like the best thing that ever happened to the show, and like she's flawless and I love her. She's wonderful. Jonah is best Jack. Sandbar is perfectly fine, but I mean I like him in the same way that I like Fox McCloud, in that he is endearing in how simple and straightforward he is. Gallus is a sweetheart. Ocelos is just flawless and precious, and she's such a perfect nerd girl. And Smolder is just a wonderful tomboy, and she's great too. I mean, there isn't a single one of them Student 6 that I don't like. They are great.
Well, I'm much in agreement. There is one thing I lament about them, but it's not of the characters themselves. I really enjoyed them and wish that they could have had more time for, to stand out, to do something. More time to develop their characters and have them go through more experiences. I feel like Yona got a majority of the focused episodes. I mean, what was it? There's She's All Yak and A Rockhoof and A Hard Place. Yona gets to do a lot in episodes, which is why she's kind of a darling. Sandbar he's got game. You watch She's All Yak, and you watch him
Yeah,
interact with her. It's like, oh, Sandbar, I thought you were just a little fledgling, but you are becoming a soaring eagle. I ship it.
oh my god, dude, come on.
I gotta use it at some point. I don't want to lose it.
Yeah.
But the thing that I feel was really a missed opportunity is that the main six were never good teachers to them. The School of Friendship exists in what I call the positivity void. It's where you are meant to assume that if you're not there, everything's going hunky-dory. It's like, well, the Crystal Empire. You're not, or Cancelot, or Celestia's rule in general. You don't see them on screen. You just assume that things are going well. But then if you only get to check in when things are not going well, or when they're not performing at optimum, then all you have is negative impressions. And the School of Friendship really suffered from this, because every time we checked in, the teachers were doing rather poorly, and it seemed the students would learn in spite of their teachers. Non-compete clause being a horrifically vivid example.
Oh, the one episode that everybody says is the worst episode of the show.
They say that's the worst. Interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. Apparently, it's the lowest rated episode on IMDb.
I'll be. Well, I don't know who they are, but I'm not inclined to disagree.
I don't disagree either. That's pretty bland. Apparently, people have forgotten about the putting your hoof down.
Well,
It's garbage.
oh, that requires a special deconstruction, given that what it does with Fluttershy.
I can't watch that episode, dude. I can't. It's just, it's to me, it's unwatchable. I always skip it if I rewatch the show. I always skip that one.
But I would have loved for basically the Harsh Swarming Club. Twilight in that episode as a teacher was fair, intelligent, and insightful. Ironically, when she everything like that goes away when she later deals with the Cutie Mark Crusaders and Cozy Glow's introduction. Cozy Glow. I can't even say her name.
Pony Shirley Temple. There you go.
That's right. Oh, golly gee. This is where I learned.
Golly gee.
Never trust anyone who says golly. I'm pretty sure that Adam West Robin was really the true mastermind.
Golly gee, Willikers, Batman. I am totally not the bad guy.
That's right, old chum. I wish I hadn't.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Now, hand me the shark repellent bat spray. God, I love it.
Oh, they did have that. They did have that. Oh, my God.
So I really love the Student Six. I understand why other people were afraid to that they were going to take focus away from the main six. But the thing I ask everyone to hold on to is that a character doesn't have to be the focus of an episode to show their strength. And very often, if the main six were teaching the students, I think you say, yes, see, this is how they've grown. This is how their experience is hard won. We didn't get to see that. And I always will consider that a weak point of season 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. Now,
I consider season 9 a bit more rewatchable than season 8.
There's with good reason.
No,
Although, I've been working a little bit on Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight, but tonight is going to be somewhat of a red letter day in particular. Because thanks to Drinking Buddy, I now have to share an image with everyone. And
here we go.
I will warn you right now that it is hentai.
Oh no, here we go. That's it.
Here we go. No, another warning. Here's the hentai. Come on. Here we go. A hen
We're all grown ups here.
plus a tie equals hentai.
Oh, that's great.
Honestly,
You tricked me.
I honestly feel like this is what normal people would think when they hear the word.
Hentai.
It's
This is awesome.
It's really just a gussied up hen. Or is it a rooster?
Oh, you got me good. You got me good there, Silver.
Yes. Like, I dance the line, but I try to keep it family friendly. Then again, if I suddenly find out my kid wants to know what hentai is, that's your fault. Well, they're on the internet. It was going to happen. Sorry.
Careful, don't put ties on things. People may end up voting for them.
Ah, very nice. Oh, goodness. Now, I have a question from Kamodra Steele, who's been very patient, but asking this question. Are you aware of Smile?
Oh, yeah, I saw that question being repeated on the chat. I had no idea how to tackle that one. Smile, are you talking about the MLP equivalent of Uncle and the organization that Lyra is that Bonbon Sweetie Drops is a part of, that then they made like a book out of it? Is that the one?
That's the one.
Oh, so that's the one. Oh, so they did it. They actually went forward with the idea.
They went forward with the idea. It was in the book, and well, Agent Sweetie Drop's history further exemplifies that. But I would love if they did more. Honestly, you could probably get away with the spin-off series right there.
Oh man, I love it.
I'm just saying.
I know that you had like you had like your conflicts about you had conflicted feelings about Lyra and Bonbon in episode 100, and how Bonbon was kind of like more out of whack than Lyra was. I remember you saying that in your review you were like, stop it, what's going on? I thought that Lyra was gonna be the weird one. But that scene, the fact that it happened, it's so goofy and so funny. So I don't know what is kind of funny. So yeah, I am aware of that.
And also part of the fun of that was Sweetie Bloom was kind enough to take part in the review, as she played the spy. Confirm the custard.
Yeah,
that's
right. Doesn't she also play the spy in TF Analysis?
No, she was the demo man. Although really more of the demo swords pony.
Oh, okay. Huh. I thought the demo man was Maddie.
Well, Maddie is the soldier.
Soldier, right.
Maybe
I'm thinking that she was the demo man because the demo man in the video game is Scottish.
That's right. Oh, the Scottish Cyclops. Now extinct.
The Scottish Cyclops, yeah.
Also, I haven't gotten to see Maddie or Felicity in the chat. I believe they both went to bed, especially Maddie. It's like, you best be getting some... You best be getting some... Wait a minute. How late have I been keeping you up? I didn't realize you're in Scotland. Is it 3 a.m. where you are?
3:01 in the morning right now, yeah.
Oh, heavens! What have I done?
No, Silver, don't worry. My usual time of go to bed is like 5:30, 6 a.m., so don't worry about it.
No, you don't understand. Sweetie Bloom's in the chat. She looks out for our sleep patterns.
My sleep pattern is this one. I got my 7 hours of sleep, aside from Wednesday to Thursday where I didn't get enough, but I've been getting my good sleep. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. This is my usual sleep schedule. This is we're in my world right now. Don't worry.
I feel you're very generous to come
on. Don't feel bad.
Well, you're still very generous.
Shut up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shut. No, you said it.
You shut up. Yeah.
Boy, you best stop starting.
Oh man. Oh, I have more questions in the War Doc that I have here. Sleep, who's that? Says Nexus Galaxy. What sleep? Can you eat it?
See, yep. There's the G. Go to bed. We'll get go to bed.
No, no, I don't wanna. I'm fine. I shouldn't go to bed. I'm not gonna go to bed, but I should probably stop working on my project because 3 a.m. is usually the time where I stop working on my drawing. But I wanna keep working on it a little bit more, especially because I can work on this and do the chat at the same time. But if I start playing a video game, that I'm gonna pay attention to the video game and nothing else, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather just keep doing this. It's more manageable.
Well, I just
Um, yeah.
we'll go a little bit longer. I try to keep it at 2 hours because I don't want to demand everyone's time. This I as
Oh, that's right.
I've switched gears to getting Pinkie Pie Says Goodnight, but honestly, I have to draw a Big Mac with a big cart full of tools and the like. So maybe I might do a cop out and I don't know make another commentary issue. There's only so much one can get done in a day, you know.
That's true. That's true.
But
You have to pace it out. And Ali Penner is asking if I am nocturnal. I am very much nocturnal, especially in Scotland because it gets dark at 4:30 p.m.
hey, huh?
Yeah, and I mean like pitch black dark. It's like close night dark at 4:30.
I don't know if well, okay, we kind of deal with that right now. I heard that either February or March will be our daylight savings, but most of the world, excuse me, doesn't practice that, do they? Oh dear, hiccup.
Uh, oh, don't worry. Yeah, no, we do have daylight savings over here in the UK and in Europe and all that, but they are at different dates. Like you guys, I think you get daylight savings before we do.
so
So
so we can make this even more
yeah.
confusing, and I can make my international friends stay up even later. I'm a bad person.
But it's fine. Sooner or later, the days are going to get longer anyway. That's where we are right now. That's the messed up thing is that it's getting dark at 4:30, but before a couple weeks ago, it was getting pitch black at like 3:30 p.m. So now we are like, oh hey, it's still daylight. I like it's still daylight at 4 p.m. This is wonderful. Half an hour later, it's like
Dang
eclipse.
it!
There's not. No. We have a question from Champ to Stay that I actually really like this question. What is your favorite museum in your area?
Our area. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. You tackle this one first. I'm gonna go fill my water jar, which is completely empty.
Sounds good. Well, again, hydrate. No, don't fear the water poisoning just yet. See, I learned something new tonight. Now, I will say for me, it is the Denver Museum of Art. I've gotten to see some wonderful pieces there, including a Lego exhibit. So I even got to use information I gained there during a panel presentation in talking about Dragon Quest, the MLP episode, not the video game.
I was about to ask.
Now, but I will also respond to a comment by the Sweetie Bloom saying I'm corrupting the children by making them stay up late. Sweetie, let's be honest. I just made a hentai pun in the stream. I think we're well past the whole corrupting children accusation. I just gotta own it.
In soon, it will be like you corrupting the teens. If you haven't already.
Ah, boy. So,
Oh, did it get cut off?
nope. Well, I don't, not sure I heard you. Basically, I mentioned the art museum of Denver, or the Denver Art Museum. I find it wonderful. I encourage everyone to check out their local art museum. Granted, maybe wait a couple months for things to settle, but go when you can, when it's safe. Go.
If I was in the area, I will totally go. Fortunately, it's a couple of airplane flights away.
Oh, I'll also say this is not in my area, but on a trip to Copenhagen. Oh no, this was in Reykjavik. Uh, we toured a museum, and there was this wonderful art piece of, well, textiles, but it all looked like fur. And it wasn't styled to look like an animal. It was just these sweeping, low hanging arcs of this material strewn about, and you could walk amongst them. It was a very foreign concept, pun
Wow.
pun totally owned. That you could walk amongst the art museum exhibit. Usually here in America, it's hands off. Case in point, at the Denver Art Museum, they had a exhibit of a guy who does art with rainbow thread, making these huge, elaborate, interweaving structures. And people, for reasons that I don't understand, would reach up and pluck the string. I think because they were intrigued by the tensile strength. Tensile? But either way, don't do that. You're messing with someone's art.
It seems like the concept of the interactive museum, but gone the wrong way.
Yeah. As much,
Right?
indeed. I'm putting my head in my hands as I think of it, but truth is, at a moment's inattention, I could likely make the same mistake. It could be you're just so intrigued by this thing that your awareness takes a break, takes a breather.
Oh.
But anywho, what about your own museums that you enjoy?
We have a few good ones actually. They opened one a couple years ago that unfortunately I haven't had the chance to go see yet. It's a modern art museum, and it's within walking distance. And I was planning to go see it on April last year, but so I wasn't able to. We have the Discovery ship, and no, I don't mean the Star Trek one. I mean the actual sail Discovery ship here in the port of Dundee, and that's been turned into a naval museum. And I have gone there a couple times, and it's just wonderful. You just get to see this Arctic exploration ship that is absolutely wonderful, and it will take you about 4 to 5 hours to see the entire thing, and it's so worth it. They take you from the bowels of the ship all the way to the base of the mast. Of course, they're not going to let you go all the way up to the mast because that will be first insane, and second, it will be illegal. You cannot do that, but it's great. However, my favorite museum that we have around here is one called the Dundee Contemporary Arts, or DCA for short. And it's a great museum because it's got a lot of workshops where you can just make your own artwork, or you can learn the structure of different artists, or like conceptual, abstract, surreal. And every now and then they will have rows of tables where you can just rent a table and sell your stuff. Something that I haven't done yet, but I plan to do that in the future. I want to see if people might be interested in buying a painting or two from me. But the best part of that museum is that it has a cinema.
A cinema?
It has a cinema. It has a 2-screen cinema, and they will bring modern movies, like new movies that just released. Like last year, they had an entire cycle of nothing but the Disney remakes, leading all the way up to Lion King. I'm thinking of 2019. In 2019, they did that cycle of all of the Disney live-action remakes leading up to the release of the Lion King. But they also have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The last movie that I saw last year in the theater was Parasite, and that's where I went to see it, and it was wonderful. Such a good movie experience. They will have cycles on Alfred Hitchcock, or a horror one where they showed all the Alien series that is from 1 to Resurrection. They didn't include Prometheus. I think they didn't have the rights for that one, but they showed the first 4 movies. So it's just great, and it will just show modern movies from like the 1930s, or just random stuff. It's wonderful.
Well, that's excellent. Honestly, I wonder if museums here in America would benefit from that style. An early showing, then they're like, oh, hey, we're here already. Why don't we check out X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. It's like they will be like, oh, we're going to go to the movies, and after they're done with the movies, oh, hey, we can stay a bit longer and just check up a couple of the other exhibitions. One of the last things they had, and this was again from 2019 to 2020, they had the original R2D2 from Star Wars.
Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better term, the suit.
Yeah, the suit, the original like artifact that where they put poor Kenny Baker inside, so he could play the role of R2D2, and they had the actual R2D2 there, and like you could take pictures with it and everything.
Oh, the fanboy in me would be heavily jealous.
It was pretty neat. But yeah. Oh, and if you don't care for the museum and you don't care for the cinema, of course, because this is Scotland, there is an excellent bar in there. There's an excellent pub there. So,
And never underestimate a good pub.
man, it's got like everything, and the pub is right in front of the entrance to the theater. So like you can just take your drink, have a drink, go to the movies, or after you're done with the movie, if the movie was garbage, you can get a shot of whiskey just so you can forget about it.
Ah, goodness. Truth be told, I can feel myself running low on steam here. I think I'm just at a point where I'll need to stop. But
Oh, we can stop here.
well, I want to answer a few more quick questions that I see.
Yeah.
Everyone, I regret that I can't always answer all the questions that come up. Little Heart Studios, favorite thing to collect. Little Heart's favorite is pressed pennies. Personally, I collect art, either in physical prints that I buy at collections or stuff I save on a hard drive. I love to view it. I love to be inspired at it, see what stories it might conjure up within my own imagination. And I've got books of game development art or cheesy Pulp Fiction covers, just basically the whole spectrum. So,
Cool.
James, do you have anything you'd like to collect?
Even it's following my own cliche. I love to collect movies.
Well, it's not a cliche. It's on brand, on point. The on point kings.
Yeah. I love to collect movies. I have like I managed to get my hands on on an unriffed copy of Reefer Madness
Okay.
a couple years ago. Oh yeah, that one.
Oh, they can threaten you and you and you.
You. But I think the most interesting piece of like movie that I own is a DVD copy. It's a riff, and I think it's a not a rip, a burn DVD of the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, you're braver than many.
Yeah, I have that, and it's unironically I love that movie.
Unironically.
It's so yeah, it's a thing of beauty. It's such a weird thing that it exists, you know. Okay, you're running out of steam. Come on.
All right.
Quick questions. Another one.
Another one. Batfire creates content. How do you guys video? I've been wanting to put my OC in videos, and have them move a bit to show reactions, but I don't know how. Let alone how to do good videos. In my case, I use Adobe Premiere Pro, and I drew. Here's the thing. Here in Illustrator, this might be helpful for everyone. If I make a new file, you can select film and video and the settings you want, and it will come up with this frame. And so, really quick, Big Mac, I'm gonna have you pull double duty here. Duty.
He's a duty.
So, I can put Big Mac in the center. And let's say then on another layer, I'll just duplicate this and draw one with his eye closed. He's blinking. There you go. So now I have, well, just by clicking between the two, I can animate them. So export these as PNGs, bring them into Adobe Premiere, and if I lay them out in just the right way, it can sometimes create the illusion of movement. Or maybe I'll put one leg on its own layer. It doesn't quite work because of the yoke he wears. But if it were a slightly more better constructed, I could use the keyframe feature in Adobe Premiere to rotate it on screen so it would really show him. Well, that looks weird. It would show him moving his leg. It's still. It remains a still image, but I am skewing the image to achieve the illusion of motion. So that is a very, very, very crash course explanation. But anywho, let's see. I think that'll about cover it for questions for this evening. Oh, Lightning Dash, good to have you back. Prism Shard, I confess I have not seen Cobra Kai yet. It's being highly praised and perhaps a worthy successor as we bank on now, what is it, 90s nostalgia? Or is that still 80s nostalgia?
It's both, because the Karate Kid ended in the 90s.
Well, there you go. I hear it's a great nostalgia, but part of it is I'm still focused on pony content, so got to keep plugging as best I can. And unfortunately, it doesn't always leave time to watch other shows. I think if I work on things tomorrow, I will see if I can't watch a little bit of The Mandalorian so I can get involved in the story and see what all the hoopla is about. And so I can be charmed by Baby Yoda.
Do you want me to give you another reason why you should check out The Mandalorian?
Yes, please.
Average length of episode between 35 and 40 minutes.
Oh, so it's a more bang for your buck.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty quick sit, and it's like, I think it's like 6 or 7 episodes per season. So it's not super long. It's pretty straightforward.
Well, I always appreciate when something's good and straightforward.
It's the best.
So, well, James, I greatly appreciate that you took the time to stay up to be a part of this. And
you're not keeping me up. This is usually my time dude, I'm gonna get a bathroom break and I'm gonna go back and do a little bit more work. I'm not gonna go to bed for like another 2 hours. Don't worry about it.
Well, okay. I will trust you to know yourself and to know your limits. But at the same time, it's been a real joy to get to hear from you again, to talk. I'm sorry it took so long to do such a thing.
It's fine, better late than never. It's great, and please, this was great. This was such a joy. Bring me back anytime you want. Doesn't need to be every week. You can bring me back, I don't know, like in another 6 months. I don't care. Just like, not another 3 years, please.
Not another
anytime
3 years.
You want, man.
But it's true. Better late than never is actually pretty much the theme of these streams. It's taken me forever to get this done, but hey, better late than never.
Yeah, it got done.
It's getting done. I mean, again, I really want to offer my praise to Iceberg for creating this wonderfully unique OC with an even more unique profession. So I'm looking forward to drawing this character. I'm going to ponder what he can be doing to look a little bit more dynamic at the train station. But,
yeah,
I mean,
he looks great.
Yeah.
That's a really good looking OC. Like, I love it.
Honestly, I'm kind of picturing what would a forensic psychologist think if he saw Pinkie Pie and Derpy and others just passing by. It's like, this place is a psychologist's field day. You know what I think?
What is that thing? What is it that they call when a pony fails on his purpose? cutie mark failure disorder or something like that.
Is that? I didn't even know if they mentioned that in this
Oh,
show.
you didn't? When there is anytime there is an episode where a character loses their like fuel for their purpose, like when Pinkie Pie's main went all flat and she turned into Pinkamena, or when
Oh.
Twilight just went crazy because of unable to find a lesson, they call that cutie mark something disorder or something like that. It had a name, but I can't put my finger on it. Dang it.
Something dark side, young Pinkie Pie.
Something dark side. something complete.
There we go. So, alrighty.
Good stuff.
And I'm going to work on this just a bit longer, but truth is, it's been a day, it's been a week. Folks, I say every week, I try to say, be safe, be healthy. This week was hard for millions, billions of people.
Yeah.
And I know it can feel very lonely, but the weird thing is we're not alone in our grief. And that may not always be a comfort, but it is a reality. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I don't know how the future is going to unfold, but I still remain committed to positivity. And even when things can't be seen in a positive light, I believe you can start again the next day. However, even in a small way. So, including getting to catch up with a friend. So,
it's wonderful.
So, I wish you all a wonderful weekend, and thank you for investing your time in checking out the stream. And I'll have new videos for you soon. So, in the meantime, I'm Silver-Quill, and thanks for watching.
See you guys later.